when he was kidnapped from his native African homeland and shipped to America at the tender age of 14. He became enslaved and ended up in Alexandria, Virginia. When he couldn't read or write English, as most slaves couldn't, they called him illiterate. When it was discovered that he could complete complex mathematical operations using nothing but his mind, they were amazed and astonished at his unique abilities. When word of his abilities spread, he became an emblem of humanity for the abolitionist movement, proving that the enslaved could exhibit intelligence that surpassed that of their kidnappers. When someone said it was a shame he hadn't been better educated, he said, "It is best I had no learning, for many learned men be great fools." Some called him the Virginia Calculator, but his name was Thomas Fuller.
While my main point of this video will hinge on the idea that there is absolutely no reason for anyone to believe that one group of people are more superior to another group of people, whether you are the oppressor or the oppressed. Before I get there, I slightly want to discuss two ideas based on this man's story. One, I want to give him all his flowers, even at the tender age of 70 years old. When verifying his intelligence, he answered 3 questions perfectly, and when one question was thought to be wrong, he told the person giving the test, well, he told his master at the time that he had forgotten about the leap years. And this was at age 70, which shows that the mind is an incredibly powerful thing, and that intelligence can't be measured based on whether or not you have attended some type of university or had any type of formal training. Imagine if this man's life was not such that he was dealing with the brutality of slavery and was allowed to truly express himself and express his genius at his fullest level. There is no telling as to what type of achievements he would have been able to make throughout his life. Now, another part is the fact that he said that oftentimes those who are the most intelligent, those who go through formal school, I should say, can find themselves to be fools. And one of the reasons why I have always agreed on that idea is simply because when you go to college, when you go to university, in order for you to get that degree, you have to follow the criteria. You have to write the answers that they expect, the answers that they have taught you. For instance, when I was younger, I wanted to be an archaeologist. I was persuaded not to by a gentleman, and I regret that. But this gentleman, one of the things that he talked about was the fact that although you may go to school and have different thought processes on some of the archaeological information that is there, in order to get that degree, you have to answer it in the way that they have always taught it. For instance, most people are still walking around thinking that the Great Pyramids of Giza were built by Khufu only 4,500 years ago, and that the Sphinx isn't around about that same age, a little bit older. When more recent archaeology in the last 10-15 years have made great strides in recognizing that the Sphinx is at minimum 15 to 20,000 years old. Most likely it is older than that. It is when the Sahara Desert was not a desert but a lush green area, and we know that the Sahara Desert goes through these changes every 13,000 or so years, and that the Sphinx was built during the last time that the Sahara was green. So therefore, when you go to school and you want to become an Egyptologist, you have to answer the question the way that they want you to answer the question, upholding the same information. The same way with if you go to a seminary, you have to answer it the way they want you to answer it. If you go to become a doctor, you have to answer it the way that they want you to answer it. So oftentimes going to places of so-called higher learning is not so much higher learning as much as it is follow the script. Now, the last thing that I wanted to discuss about this gentleman and what he demonstrates is the fact that no racial group, to which we call racial groups or ethnicities, are greater than any other ethnicity. We all have our geniuses and we all have our idiots. We all have our middle of the roads and everything in between. Imagine if we lived in a world where everyone had an equal opportunity to learn and investigate and experiment and grow and their attributes are recognized. They have an opportunity to recognize their attributes. How many great mathematicians have we lost simply because one group was oppressing another group? How many great medical doctors have we lost because one group was oppressing another group? How many medical treatments have we lost because one group believed that this other group's practice of medicine is witchcraft? The list can go on and on and on and on as to what we have lost and how far we could have progressed if we only raised our consciousness to the level where we just recognize conscious beings as simply conscious beings. Not male, not female, not black, not white, not Asian, not American, not Russian. All these things done away with, and our world would be a much better place, and people will be much happier, because our advancements in society, our advancements in medicine, our advancement in hell, astronomy, all of our advancements will be so far ahead of where we are today if we simply got rid of our prejudices, our racism, our biases, our nationalism, and all the other isms. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.